I'm doing now, I just gonna set up this other server. Okay, I'll do advanced here as usual. Well, even though this one won't work because basically it's a core version, there will be nothing there. But I just gonna fix it this way. The display, especially, nothing will help. So I'm gonna choose. It's already chosen actually. That's the version here from the list. The network. In that case, I will use NAT network just for the beginning, just to be sure it will work after the reboot. I mean, I'm gonna change it, okay, to my internal network, and then I'm gonna do. By the way, I think let me just do the share folder too here, even though it won't work. So the domain controller 2 has been installed, and I'm going to show it to you how, whatever we spoke in the beginning, how to do it. It's very easy. You do insert control delete. Now, because that's the installation just finished, I need to click OK, because I need to change the password, as normally with the installation of any Windows server. Well, the password welcome one. I'll click tab. So now I need to do again my password because I haven't finished it. So here it is, guys. So I'll put the password in the usual way, even though it looks like, you know, a creepy thing. It's the same thing. It's asking me after the installation of Windows server to put the password, and I'm gonna put it, welcome one. Okay, I'll put it again. I'll click enter. Okay, now it's changing the password. I'll click OK, and well, that's what I have, guys. Okay, that's what I have. The black screen. So let's click here as config, and here it is. Okay, now the first thing what I need to do is the computer name. So I'll click to. Here the other beauty here is that I don't need to install the guest edition. There is no graphical interface, so guest edition is not needed, right? So the computer name, I'm gonna call it DC2, right? That's my domain controller 2. You see it on the top here, right? Okay, so I'll click enter, and it obviously, as usual, I need to reboot after this, so I'm gonna reboot. And it's reapplying, and I'm done. You see how fast? It's less than a minute to reboot. So I'm gonna do insert control delete, my password of welcome one, boop, and I'm there. Okay, and I need to do sconfig again now. Here it is, sconfig. Okay, here it is. Now I changed the name. I could add a local administrator if I want. At this point I don't want. I'm gonna use this one. The configure remote management, as you see, is enabled. The download and install updates. Well, I could go and do, let's check the Windows update settings. It says 5, okay? It says download only. Well, I don't want without download only. I would like when there is an update automatically to be done. 2016 server is prepared to be done this way. So I'm gonna click now A for automatic. I'll click enter. Okay, it's enabling automatic updates. Okay, and it says it will check and install every day in 3 a.m. if there is something. Well, let's see if there are some actually. I'll do 6 now to download and install updates. And it says search for all. Yeah, I'm gonna say all, not only the recommended. I'm gonna wait this to, at any point I could stop it. That's what I did with the Control and C. I stop it because it will take too much time. So the network settings. Well, before the network settings, I'm gonna do 9 for date and time. Okay, let me click inside 9 for the date and time, and we know what we need to choose, the Eastern time. Okay. Okay, here it is. I just go change time zone. I'm gonna change to -5, which is the Eastern time, US and Canada. That's our time zone. It's done. Now the Windows activation 11, and I will say 1 to display the information. And it says, well, it's for 180 days. Well, if I'm not sure that I have internet, which obviously I have, but I could do right away ping google.com just to see. Well, here it is. I'm done. Okay. By the way, let's do ipconfig. Well, we don't need to do ipconfig all. Actually, we could close this window, and now I could do 4 to return to the main window, to the main menu. And then I'm gonna choose actually the last option, which I haven't thought up to now, was the network settings, the number 8. Okay, I'll do number 8. So now it will say that for now it's using dhcp. Well, I'm gonna do select available network adapter. So I'm gonna choose the 0 because that's my adapter number. And it will show me now the settings. So here it is. I see IP address. I see that dhcp is enabled. True. That means I need to do something. So I'm gonna do set network adapter address. I'll click 1. I'll choose the same, whatever I'm seeing here, almost the same I'm gonna choose. Now the first thing what I'm gonna do S for static. Okay. Well, we're gonna choose 10.0.2. Well, 0.2.8. I'm gonna choose the same IP address actually. The default, the subnet mask would be 255.255.255.0. Well, once again, I'm choosing 10.0 because, as you see, I'm using not network address, and that's the default one. Okay, the default gateway is 10.0.2.1. Okay, and it's done. Now I need to set the DNS servers after this, which will be the option 2. Okay. So I'm waiting this to finish. And I'm going to choose the option 2 for the DNS server. The preferred DNS server will be the other computer, the DC1, or in my case, Win 2016, which is on the top. This guy here on the top. So I'm going to choose 10. Well, let's see its IP address actually, because I don't remember it. And maybe it's not one. Keyboard, insert control, delete. So welcome 1. Okay, and let's do ipconfig here. And 10.0.2.6 actually is this IP address. It's okay, doesn't matter. It's static, so it's fine. So 10.0.2.6, because that would be my primary, secondary domain controller. The alternative DNS server, I'm gonna choose 10.0. It's its own address, which is 10.0.2.8. Click enter. This one is done too. And now I just gonna click 4 to return to the main menu. And the last option actually which just remain is the first option. Okay, I need to join this guy to the domain. Now I'm gonna be ready to join it because now I point to the proper DNS server. I did everything what it's supposed to do. So number 1 option I'll choose now. And it says join domain or workgroup. Well, I'll choose D because that's what needs me to join a domain. And it says name to the domain of name of the domain to join, which is test. And the user will be obviously administrator. Okay, it's supposed to. Okay, here it's asking me for the password. Well, welcome 1. Okay. Do you want to change the name? Well, I changed it already, so I'm gonna do no. Click no on this message. And I'm gonna say yes. And it will reboot. And actually now it will be joined to the domain. Now, basically, since it's joined to the domain, let me start my other computer. You see how fast it's rebooting. I then installed from here the remote server administration tools. Actually, that's a common problem which appears. Here it is on the magazine which I showed it to you. At the bottom it says troubleshooting rsat installation. and they show two major problems which are happening when you use older version of Windows 10. So it's a good idea to follow what they say here if you have the same problem. So that's what I did. I don't want to start the firewall. That's why what I did only the first thing. I reinstalled it, and I'm going to install a newest version of the remote, and I downloaded it of the remote server administration tools. Okay. So here's the remote administration tools here. I'm going to install them from my network. When I go to my network shared devices, I have my desktop of my real computer, and if I do by that modified, well, it's not there yet. I need to copy it actually from my downloads. I need to copy to my desktop. So I'm going to click on the desktop here, and I'm going to just paste it. Okay. And then here it will appear actually when I click date modified. I need to refresh, I guess. Here it is. So that's the one which I just downloaded, right? This is the one. So I could click right away from it. I use the same computer, so it's fast, as you see. And it says, do you want to install it? Once again, it's an older version of Windows 10, so I need to install them. If it's a version 1809, as the document here states, you need to go and install them from the store, Windows Store. Okay, I'll do accept. Yeah, the common problem was here I cannot see some of the snippets there. The DNS, even though it was there, I cannot start it. So that's why I needed to remove it and install it a newer version. So I hope now it will be fixed. So what I'm seeing now, it's a command prompt. But if I want, I could just do ps PowerShell, and I could open PowerShell. Now I'm in PowerShell. You see, I just put the command PowerShell, and I'm there. The PS in the beginning shows me that I'm in PowerShell now. Okay. So, well, I have other options to see which are not important now. If I would like to go out of PowerShell, I just do exit. And I'll go back to my CMD. Okay, installation has been done. I'm gonna restart now, and I hope all the snippets there I'm gonna see. So I'm gonna proceed then. Now, when you install on the older version, when you install the remote server administration tools, guys, you need actually to install them first to reboot, and afterwards to find them into the installation. I'll show it to you the features of Windows where you install. Okay, you need to go to the control panel let me show it to you now. So once again, on the older computers, when you go to the control panel, okay, you find out here the programs. So you click on the programs where it says, and you go turn Windows features on or off. You click on this one, and you find out the feature here after the installation of the rsat. Once again, that's for the older version of Windows. If it's the version 1809 and more, it will be there. So you need to find out here the remote server administration tools. RSA remote, here it is. Remote server administration tools. You click on the plus sign, and you need to be sure everything is chosen. Well, that's not a very good sign, once again. Most of the time when you install it, it's not supposed to be installing everything. But anyway, I hope now I'm gonna have everything. So let's try to find out. Let's do server to see my server administration. Server, it doesn't show anything. So it's not shown. So server manager, it will open it, hopefully. Okay, I'm gonna put it here on my taskbar because I don't want to lose it again. Now I see the roles which are installed. So I'm gonna do add other servers to manage, right? Now the DC1 is already there. So I'm gonna put now the DC2. DC2. Here it is. It's finding it because I joined the domain with it, right? So I just click twice, it's to appear here. I'll do OK. OK. Now it's important this which is moving here to finish. It's refreshing at the moment. Now, if I would like to install other roles on it, I just click now Add Roles and Features. OK, I'll do Next. And on my pool, well, I need to choose, well, the server I see, I don't see the DC2, right? After the refresh, I see the both, okay? I'm seeing my server, which is DC1, okay? And I see DC2. Now, wherever role I need to install, I'm gonna choose the server on which I'm gonna install it, right? So in my case, I would like to install the active domain services on DC2. I'm gonna click on DC2 test LCL. I'll click Next. And you see there is nothing here. If I go previous, and if I click on this one, and I'll do Next, I'm gonna see the roles which are installed, right? The active domain services are installed, dhcp DNS is installed too, right? So I want to install on this one. I'll do Next. And I'm gonna choose active domain services. Well, it will be very fast, guys, because once again, it's a core version, okay? You see, even though both of these servers, Windows 2016, which is the server one, and the DC2, which are my domain controllers, are core version, so I don't see anything on them, basically just the command line. I could see everything what I'm doing on the client Windows 10, which is accessing them at the moment, through the remote, through the server manager, okay? So click Next here. I'll do Next on this. I don't have choice. I'll do Next on this. I will say Restart when it's needed, and I'll do Install. Okay, so it will install the role, and at certain point it will ask me to promote the server again. So as you see, guys, it was fast. Now I'm gonna click to promote this server to a domain controller. Okay, and I'm gonna choose now you see it's finding out my test.lcl domain. It's finding it. I'm gonna add a domain controller to an existing domain, so I just need to choose the credentials here. Administrator. And I'm gonna use welcome one. I'll do OK. OK. And I'm gonna do Next. Now it's going on and it's proceed. Now you see I have the option read only domain controller available. If I want, I could choose it. For now, I'm not gonna do it. This is the important directory services restore mode password, which we need to choose. I'm using always welcome one again, although that's not a good practice, right? You could choose something which is specific for restore functions. Okay, do Next. The delegation, I cannot do anything for this for now. I could install from a media if I want. Now, any domain controller, not any. I'm gonna choose my server.testlcl, right? That's my DC1 actually. Okay, I'll do Next. I cannot do too many things here. Now it will check the prerequisites. And if everything is okay, if it is okay, you see how fast it is here. I'll do Install and just wait this guy to reboot. And as you see, guys, the server has been done automatically. Well, because I'm remotely accessing it, it doesn't reboot it. I need to reboot manually the server. And it's easy. I'm gonna do close on this. Okay, I'm gonna close. Let me just see if I save this. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna close this now. Okay, and basically I could go to the servers. When I click on all servers here, you see them. Now you see I see both of them, and I could start and do some stuff. Actually, if I do right click on this, you see how many things I could do now. Basically all of the tools, most of the tools I'm seeing here, as well as I could reboot it. Here it is. It says restart server. So I'm just gonna click restart server, and I'm gonna restart the DC2 because obviously I just installed, and you see on the left side it's rebooting, right? Because I just installed the domain controller there, so I need to reboot it, right? Now it shows this message because the image, the CD image is still here. Well, I just go to the settings. I go to storage. come on the CD and remove it from this one. Just click on that and remove disk from the virtual drive, and that's all. I don't want to click by mistake. Let me check the other one here. Sorry, machine. Settings. Storage, and I'm gonna remove this disk also from here. I don't want to. So once again, if you would like to find the server function and they don't show up, you go to Windows Administrative here and you find out whatever you need, the DNS. Here it is. I'll click on DNS. Now see another interesting thing. It says Windows DNS server is running on this computer or the following computer. Well, we're pointing to DC1, right? Which is called server. And I could actually do only OK, and it will connect to the server right away. Here it is, the DNS. Now, watch the beauty. Well, if I click on this one, I see my forward lookup zone. Let's see it. And you see DC2 is here. I see the desktop, wherever. Well, I haven't changed the name on the other computer yet, but it's okay. I see everything here. Let's see my reverse lookup zone. Well, there is no such. It's a good idea to create a new zone right away. Next, it will be primary zone, obviously. To all DNS server running. Yes. Next. Next. And I'm gonna put here the 10 actually. 10.0.2. That's what I have. And I will create it. Just next, finished. It's created. Now I go back here. I open one of these guys, properties. And I just click update associated PTR record. I'll do apply. Then I'll go OK. I'll go to the reverse lookup zone, right click and do refresh. And when I go there back, well, it will refresh it again. It will refresh all the pointer records. They will be refreshed, all of them. So basically, now the other interesting thing here, guys, I could right click on this one and I could say connect to DNS server. Okay, and now I could choose the other one, which is DC2. Okay, I'll do OK, and here it is, the DC2, the same thing now, guys. You see how it's nice. I could go to the DC2. I'll choose forward lookup zone. Here it is. It's the same zone actually. Here it is. All of the records, they're here. Well, because that's a backup domain controller, right? So it's supposed to propagate all of these things there. And what I could do on the reverse lookup zone, well, we have the reverse lookup zone already. It's synchronized, right? It replicates from both. So everything is here too on the DC2. Okay? We need just to refresh. Well, I could reload the zone from here. I'll do actually on the server. As you see, guys, the replication has been done. Once again, you just need manually to reload sometimes and to refresh and to wait a little bit. The DNS propagates a little bit slow. So that's how I'm managing now two servers from my applet for the DNS manager, right? As well as on my server manager. I see both of them, right? Now, I'm going to go install. I'll go to the dashboard and I'm going to install another role, add roles and features. And I'm going to add a role on the DC2 of the dhcp. So I'm going to add the dhcp here. I'll do next. I'll go to the dhcp. I'll do next. And then what I'm going to do basically would be to choose whatever I'm done with. I'll see restart if needed. And I'll do install. Now it's important, guys, when you install this server, do not start it. Okay? You need to configure it. Or even it was fast. I'll click complete dhcp configuration. Next, I'll commit the same password and I'm done with this. Okay? dhcp has been installed. And I'll do the same thing like I did with the DNS, guys. I just gonna come here. I'm gonna go down to the all applications and I'll find out Windows Administrative Tools and I'll go to dhcp. Here it is, dhcp. I'll open it. I'll attach it to I'll pin it to my taskbar to have it there. I'll open it. Okay, that's the dhcp. And if I click here, I will see I need to add the server, right? And now I'm proposing which one of this authorized DHCP server. For now, my server is the authorized one. It is what is giving the DHCP. Here it is. And if I go there, I could choose. Well, it hasn't been actually configured, I guess. So I need to configure this one first. Okay. I'll do configure option. Oops, I'm sorry. I'll click here and I'll do this new scope. Yeah, I'll do next. And I'll choose the name. You remember 192. You could choose whatever you want, which is giving you information what it is. 168 0.0 well 1. Well, it's a different scope here actually. It's 10.0.2.0, right? If I'm not gonna put, and the first one will be 10.0.2. Let's say 30. Okay, and the last one will be 50. 10.0.2.50. Now it's giving me the default subnet mask, which is not good. I'm gonna choose the 24 here. Okay, because that's what we've chosen, if you remember. We'll do next. This one we'll skip for now. That's a good duration, and I need to start this one, right? I need to activate this scope. Okay, and it's asking me the router, which is 10.0.2.1. Well, it's not still installed actually, this guy. Okay, I'm gonna add the router, which is my default gateway provided by VirtualBox actually here. I'll add it, and the server name for the DNS server will be server actually. So I'm gonna remove this one for now, which is actually the same one, but I'm gonna choose the. I just would like to show it to you how it's supposed to be actually. So you do server here, the name of the DNS server, you do resolve. Well, it will resolve it, and you add it after this. So now it's validating first, and afterwards it will add it. You do next. The Win server for now we don't do. Anyway, we just activate the scope. Okay, and we activate the scope, and the scope is on. Okay, so it's there now. When I go to IP version 4, okay, when I go to IP version 4, well, just let me show it first. Right click on DHCP and I do add server, so I'm going to add the other one now, DC2, right, which I just installed on it. I just installed the DHCP also. Okay, here's the DC2. And if I go to DC2, you see it's not even on. The DC2 is not on. So what I need to do here, I'll right click on IP version 4 on server, and I do configure failover. Okay, and I'm gonna be what will be my partner server. I'll add the server, and obviously this is the DC2. Okay, that would be the DC2 server. That's the other server which even wasn't on. I'll do next. Relationship name. Well, this is the major server, and that's the backup server, the DHCP server. Well, we could play with all of this thing, and it says how much load balancing. Okay, there are two ways here: state switchover interval or enable message authentication. Okay, for now we're gonna choose wherever is the default, 50 by 50. Okay, so basically I could stop the message authentication. I don't need it. I'm just gonna do next. Okay, I'll do finish, and as you see, it's doing the thing. So it's uploaded. It synchronized all the things which are shown here with the DC2. I'll do close. Okay, if I go to DC2 now, well, it will be started. If I check, you see the scope is here now, the same scope I have here. So basically, this when it's needed, it will be on. Okay. So let's go to the file services here, and let's install. Here's the file server. Now let's go to server 2000, the server itself. Okay. So basically, we're gonna choose the server to work with it. Well, actually, I could choose both, right? I could choose like this with Shift. I could choose both, and I could work on both. For now, I just want on the server to work. I could do shares. By the way, let's first finish the installation of the role though. Let's install the role. We need to install the routing role. Well, the routing role, we're going to skip it for now because we have the NAT. I'm using NAT network, so it's using the NAT itself. It's not relevant with the DC controller, right? With any of them. It's relevant with VirtualBox because I'm using NAT network for all of them. As you see, it's working. Actually, all of the computers now, they have internet. And it's much more easier actually to do it because we have internet for some updates or something we need to download from internet actually, okay? So that's why I'm using it here on this computer. In your network, you need to choose wherever we started. Now, the other thing we said, we need to finish with the installation of the file services. Oops, I'm sorry. We need to go to the add roles and features. I need to navigate to my server, which is my domain controller, this one. I'll do next. And from the file services, remember we need to choose some additionals here. I'm gonna choose the, well, so if you follow whatever I showed you here, so if you would like to do whatever I'm showing you here, like the shadow copies, the offline files and quotas, you need to go here and you need to choose, well, you need to choose the DFS namespace as well. That was the first thing what we've shown yesterday. So the DFS namespaces we're gonna choose. We're gonna choose the file server resource manager, you need it. That's the one, FSRM, okay? We're gonna choose the shadow copies here, okay? And we're gonna choose the work folders as well. Okay, I will add the feature wherever I'm asked to do. So all of these features, as you see now, I'm adding the DFS namespace because we would like to do DFSs, right? Do next, I'll do next. I will restart when needed. I'll do install. And it will start the installation. And once again, it will be very fast, guys. Less than a minute or two, and I'm done with this. I'll do close. Now, I would need, let me check here what it says. You see all the features are done. So what I need to do, it's a good idea to go to all servers. And I'll go and restart. Well, you know, I'm going to restart both. But you see now, I'm not going to restart them in the same time. Because I want my network to have still to have the DHCP on, to have the DNS and so on and so forth. So I'm going to restart first this server. As soon as it's boot up, I'm going to restart the other one. Okay? So I'll do restart server. I will confirm. I'll wait until it, well, that's the back server. That's this one. Now it's rebooting. Here it is, it's starting to reboot. I will wait it to come back and I will reboot the other one. Now you see, after the reboot, it's applying the computer settings, which I just did. It will be fast too. And my server is back. Okay, so now I'm gonna go to the other one, okay, which is DC2. I right click on it and I'll do restart server. Okay, and I'll do okay. By the way, you see I could add roles from here, right? The computer management, remote desktop connection, Windows PowerShell, configure NIC theming if I would like to make theme with my network cards, and all of the other things here, as well as manage as, start performance counter, remove the server, and so on and so forth. You see how many things I have here. These are commands which I'm seeing here as well. Well, ADSI is the editor for Active Directory. It actually is very nice. So if I open it, that's how it looks. The interesting thing about this is when I click on this guy, I need to add the server actually. Connect to the usual way. The default naming context. Here it is. That's, I see everything about my, I might, when I'm using this guy, I'm going to actually pin it here. I cannot pin it here anyway. So when I'm using the this tool, okay, basically I could see a lot of things about my active domain. So what I could do basically, if I go to the computers, I could see here the name of this, that's my computer. Well, I'm connected to myself actually, but let's see if I do properties now. Okay, I'm gonna see a lot of information here. If I filter it, and if I just remove the optional, just the mandatory things here on the filter which I leave, you see guys, I see my SID number. You see my seat number. Here it is. I see my seat. So I saw several people who forgotten to do the sysprep. Well, that's another way you guys to see the seat number. Okay, using this feature. Now both computers are rebooted, guys. Now we spoke yesterday about the pre-staging, guys. So if I would like to see my computers, I need to open here the users and computers. All applications, going down, Windows administrative tools, Active Directory users and computers. I'm gonna close this one, I don't need it now. On the computers, basically, you see in the computers I have the desktop now. Okay, when I go to the domain controllers, I have these two domain controllers. Okay, now if I would like to create computers, I could create actually we said yesterday we need to create organizational units. So I'm gonna click on my test.lcl here on the top. I'll do new, and I'm gonna do organizational units. That's what you need to do, guys, when you're gonna create computers and users additionally. Okay, so here it is. Let's do it again. I don't see everything and most of the thing now because I need to go to view and advanced features I need to activate, guys. That's important to be done. Okay, and then I would need to go and to do it again. Now let's open my server manager. I'll click on the all server. Well, I'll go to file and storage services. Actually, I need to go here, and I'm gonna be on the server. I want to work on the server, not on DC, on my DC1. And I'll click on shares. Okay, and after, well, I need to create the share though, don't forget this, right? I'll open my DC1. Okay, here it is. I'll do Control Delete. I'll put the password. Okay, and I'll do CD empty space and backslash to get to the root folder. That's how I go. Well, here is the backslash. On Linux is forward slash, right? So I'll do dir to see what I have as directories. Okay, I could do mkdir, and I could say underscore shares, and I could create another one, mkdir underscore test. Okay, so two share folders I'm gonna create. If I do dir, here it is, that has been created. Okay, shares and test. Now when I go back to my computer here and the shares, well, that's on DC2. Well, I need to go back because obviously on the server 2 I need to add on the server 2 here new share. It will be SMB share. Next, I said we need to go on the server, and then we go type a custom path. We are just gonna browse it actually, and here are the shares, I see them right away, right? So I'm gonna choose first this one. I'll select the folder, and I'll do next. Okay, I'll leave it the same. That's the way I'm gonna access it. This is how it will be. What is the path itself? I will enable access-based enumeration. Remember, that was whoever has access, whoever has not access to the shared folder do not see them actually. I'll do next. Okay, and the permissions for now. Well, let's add permission. So I'm gonna click customize permission. Well, I need to create users first though. Let me create the users. Well, when I am in the server itself, okay, when I'm in the server itself, when I come here, all servers, I could go to the server, I could do right click, and I could start the PowerShell. You see it says PowerShell here. Here it is, Windows PowerShell. So it will start the PowerShell there. Okay. If I'm in doubt, obviously I could check it all the time. Right away I could check where I am. Okay. Well, but it says I'm on the server. Okay. So I'm actually accessing remotely the server. I just put whatever they show here, which I copied. Well, I'm gonna create additional add from additional users. Okay, add underscore users. Click enter. It's creating it. And now if I open and go to all applications once again, administrative tools, go to Active Directory users and computers. I need to map it to be sure that is here. I'm gonna pin it here to the. Let me open the DNS as well while I'm here, because so let's check if it has been created. Here it is, ADD users has been created. So the PowerShell, as you see, very easily creating whatever we want. And basically I could create some users here. So I could right click here and I could do new user. I'll create the user test one. Well, this is how it will look, the script. Well, the line which will create this user, since I'm not able to do it because of the, the conflict of the versions of the remote server administration tools. So basically, when I go there, and I could check actually all of this OU, I showed it to you guys, right? If I go to the Windows Administrative Tools, if I open ADSI Edit, okay, if I open it, you see that's the DC test DCLCL. And if you go here, basically add user. If you click on this guy, right click and you do properties, it will show it to you exactly. CN was the organizational unit, CN schema, CN configuration, DC test, DCL. Okay, you see all of this information here. And the OU itself is add users. Okay, so basically if you don't know something, well, you could find it with this tool here. So let me pin it so to be accessible also. And let's click now enter. So if we click on this guy again, put the password. Check it. Here it is, created. So if I want to complete another one, the same script I'll use, just repeat. This one. So I need to put the password too. It's done. I refresh. I'm gonna have this guy also here. Well, this guy, as you see, it's not enabled. So basically, I could come and enable it here. So we see this some account named John D. And basically we could enable it by PowerShell again because the other one doesn't work. So actually, so we do it like this. Let's check if it's enabled now. No, it's enabled. Okie dokie. So let's go back to the file servers. Here's the file server. We do on the server right click. So we go to the file and storage services. We do shares. We right click here and do share. We choose server and type the custom path. They will be shown. I'll choose the first one. Select the folder. Next. Next. I'll say this. Customize permission. So I'll send G. I'm gonna add. Send G. One. Could modify, write, and all of this thing. Okay, we're gonna add also John. And John. So John will be able just to read and execute list folders and read, not write inside. Actually, John won't have any access. This one. We skip all the access for John. Okay, we do okay. We do apply. We do okay. Do next. We do create, and it has been created. Okay, so if I would like to access it from my client, which is that's the case, I need to click here. Well, I could go network, right click and do map network drive, and I could do it as O. Okay, and I'm gonna choose the folder. Well, let's choose Y, whatever they were giving me, because it is already taken with my desktop. So here on Y, I'm gonna put the folder, which is server and /_share or shares. I don't remember. Here it is, the server. When I click, it will be show the shares. I'm gonna choose this one. Do OK. I'll do finish. I could choose different credentials actually if I want, but for now I'm gonna choose these ones. And shares is visible now on my profile. Okay. So if I go this PC, I'm gonna see it. Now let's switch the user. First, let's switch to SMG. Switch the account. So let's log in SMG. So when I go SMG, I'm supposed to see this one. If I not, I'm gonna map it. Here's the DC2. Well, it's actually the server. And here's the shares. Okay? So no problem. I could access, I could create stuff here, folders, could create files, and apparently I could even change them after this, right? I could save the thing. That was with my permissions there, if you remember. Now let's try the other guy. Let's switch again, this time to John D. So let's open now the shares. Again, go network. Well, we see the server. We see the shares. We try to delete. Well, you see, it's asking me to do it on a different space because obviously it won't. It doesn't allow to do this, right? And if I try to delete the folder, let's say, yeah, I don't have enough permission for this. I think I have another John here, so that's the reason we still see it. So we're gonna add it now. Yeah, it's not here, that's why. Okay, we're gonna add John D.